Hello, adventurer. Welcome to the Arcane Ward, a library of stories and adventures of those who came before. Here we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this tale named Ashes to Embers. An exciting narrative of danger, adventure, and humor the likes of which you have never seen before. We thank you, and we hope you enjoy.
Well, with that, we'll go ahead and hop into tonight's episode of Ashes to Embers. Previously on Ashes to Embers, after our party had awoken, after ascending to the sky with the city of Babylon, and having several dreams associated with different things that are going along in our players' lives, each of our players began to traverse the city of Babylon to find each other. Savage had disappeared during the night and had somehow appeared on a very tall spire in everything but with nothing on except for his alabaster-themed underpants.
Which I will say saved my life.
Did save his life. He was able to get help, meet up, and was slowly beginning to meet up with the rest of the party as the call of dragon echoed throughout the entire city. An adult silver dragon was circling the clergy, zeroing in on one individual in particular, Virian Shelby, who had placed the red dragon scale on his collarbone, was being tracked by an adult silver dragon. Lord Borstone of the Duke of Dracon, one of the members of the family of the leaders of the city of Dracon. After a brief, as our party kind of converged again together, there was a discussion of potentially conversing with this dragon. After a moment of tense conversation, all of a sudden, elevated, enlarged herself to a quite immense size, and stared down the dragon. And the dragon was cowed. As the conversation began to progress with this dragon, Lord Borstone, he landed into the center of the courtyard and began to converse with each one of you. There were discussions of the dragon scale. There was discussions of potentially hugging the dragon, and it all accumulated with Min the Turtle getting to hug a dragon and Virian Shelby being granted at least partial clemency for the act of placing the dragon scale, but with strict rules associated with it. It was then that our party decided that, well, it is kind of important to go check on Cicero during this time, because something was afoot. They went and interrogated him quite soundly, and with some very impressive investigation, arcana, and insight checks, they were able to determine several things about the room. The room was sealed. The only thing that could potentially linger in the cell is a very powerful spell that had been cast prior, but nobody could cast the spell inside the room. And that Cicero was happy to be there for some reason. With this troubling information in mind, our party then began to contemplate where Scandaicus Well was, the Herald of Lore. And with the slight slip of a tongue by Min the Turtle, it was revealed that there was a secret library within the library, and that is probably where Scandaicus Well was being sequestered. Our party ran to the library, and as Virian Shelby approached the door, he felt the immense heat coming from the inside of the library. With one fierce kick, it exploded outward in a fiery blast, and Virian Shelby ran into the burning fire, followed closely by Sauvage de la Guin. They forged deep within to the heart of this burning library and discovered the smoking remains of Scandaicus Well, the Herald of Lore, in the barely alive form of Alabaster Cinder. Apparently something had attacked them both here within the library. They were able to escape from the library, and trying to keep things a little bit under wraps for the time being, Virian Shelby was able to pass along the information that the Herald of Lore is currently deceased. The rest of our party retired for the evening, but not Clayton Deadeye. He had a job to do. The night was spent poring over plans, documents, mathematics, arcane sigils. Late into the evening, it was spent crafting a weapon of perfection. And as the dawn began to rise, Ghost was created. The Phantom rifle and Phantom ammunition. It was then that Richard told Clean that he was sorry, that he had deceived his son for the past 3 days and had actually been secretly working with Cicero Corinth to steal his formula for crafting this weapon, and that Cicero Corinth currently has the blueprints. And with that information shared, a blast opened the door, and Richard was attempted to be assassinated by an unseen assassin. But with the gun that he had just crafted, he loaded a single bullet and fired it. And with one resounding crash and gunshot, was able to take down the assassin, running over to the body of Richard lying on the ground as the last life begins to fade from his eyes. With a natural 20 medicine check, Richard was stabilized. And that is where we will pick up as Shaggy, Clayton, with Richard in his arms, takes one step out of the workshop into the rays of sunlight coming as the dawn begins to break, and off in the distance you can see the vague form of another sky city beginning to make its way towards you. And that is where we will pick up. Shaggy, what are you doing right now?
I want to make a kind of an observation. So I'm entering like the campus courtyard of the College of the Church of Ash, and I assume that I would notice the guards are dead.
Yep, both of the guards are currently throats are slit, have bled out during the night, and are they're propped up as if they are still standing sentry. But as you kind of look, you can see that most of the their throats have been slit and most of the blood had drained into their armor, and they're kind of propped in, their kind of heads down, and it looks like they're standing sentry.
Okay, and then is there any other evidence of violence nearby?
Not a lot. in fact, there's no evidence of violence around these two individuals. It looks like whatever killed them was so quick and so efficient with their strikes that there was no room for struggle. There was no combat.
Okay, and then with my kind of arms, granted, I assume I'm larger than my father by
Yes.
a decent margin. I'm gonna kind of pull one hand away. I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna kind of be jogging out towards one of the buildings that I know that there's some clerics, and I'm gonna fire off a shot and call for help. I need assistance. Bam.
As the shot rings out, the rest of you hear this gunshot. It rings clear as day throughout the clergy, and that's where I assume that you guys were kind of staying at this moment, as things were kind of going down and wanting to be a little bit closer to everything. But you all are awoken to the gun, a massive gunshot, bang, and the sounds of a familiar friend calling for help. At this moment in time, Clayton, you see running out of some of the buildings, there are some members of the clergy, mostly just acolytes. This is like you said, this is a very secluded, secret wing of the clergy, and so there's no offices out here. Most of the people that could provide actual medical assistance in this kind of dire circumstances, probably the closest person might be Savage. Everybody else are just acolytes that are just kind of
would any of them be able to do some basic lay on hands or healing word?
Let me do a luck check. There is one individual, and he's a young boy, 12 years old, head shaven, covered in the faint layer of ash that most of the clerics have. And he's like, I've been practicing this for a long time. What do you need? I can potentially do healing word, but that's pretty much it. I can do it once.
Anything. Quickly, now.
All right.
What a legend.
That's going to be 2 points of healing.
Let's
to
go.
Richard.
What's the kid's name from Legend of Korra? Milo or something like that?
I'm proud of you, kid.
That's just all I'm picturing right now.
His
First
name
on
is
well.
Milo.
Yeah.
It is official.
So
Perfect.
Milo places his hands around the part. You can see that part of Richard's neck, maybe even part of his his spinal cord has been broken. But he places his hands very gingerly along the bruises and the neck fractures, and you watch as some of the bruises go away. He kind of nods. He's like, I don't think he's gonna die anytime soon, but you might want some more intense help, because I think his spine's broken.
Well, that'll do for now. Thank you so much. Run and
Okay.
find Savage immediately.
Okay, who's Savat? Oh, the battle bishop. Yeah. And he takes off.
And then, how many others are there?
There's 3 others that are 10, 11 years old.
Whose hand is that?
Sorry,
I don't know.
Mine.
Whose is that?
I'm charging my battery. I'll put it back down soon. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Nobody look at the boom mic. It's holding the boom mic.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Please tell me that's in the camera shot.
I'll bring it down
Is
as
it?
soon as I get a little.
Zooms out. There's a floating hand at the top of the
Excellent.
screen. It's the sound guy in the back. You're not
Like-
supposed to see.
This is the boom mic.
Yeah,
It's the boom mic.
It's the boom mic.
Okay, surely it has a little battery. I'm gonna pull it away.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
Leave it alone. Okay. Are you okay? Yeah, a little bit better. Leave it alone.
It's like the hand from Wednesday or the Addams Family. I think it's called Thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Disembodied
Yeah.
hand. Isn't
Alright.
a disembodied hand a D&D creature too?
Where did
Yes,
I go?
it
Oh,
is.
it's up there now. Okay, that's not good.
That's a familiar idea, honestly. Like a homebrew familiar, just a hand.
But jumping back into this very dire situation,
Oh yeah.
Oh
right,
yeah,
sorry.
totally. Very, very dire.
we'll go ahead and we'll cut from Clayton over to the rest of our party.
Oh, by the way,
the-
before you cut over there, sorry. So I'm gonna be still within like vision of the shop, and I know that there's only one entrance there. So just so you know, my passive perception, I don't know if I can do this or how you would go about it, but like my awareness of whatever's going over by my shop is very heightened right now.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. Okay, we'll go ahead and cut over. The rest of you probably have like you were shown to like guest quarters and stuff.
Excuse you, Ray.
Billy, what is going on with your stuff, man?
No looking behind the
New
DM screen.
He went behind the DM screen. That is an
happened
unpardonable offense. You're dead.
Have I
24-hour
got
ban.
Rocks fall. Rocks fall.
Rocks
on him
fall,
in particular.
gravestone.
Reroll a new character that's exactly the same.
The rest of you are probably within like the pretty close guest rooms of the clergy, as the heralds and blah blah blah. The guest rooms are like currently stationed pretty close to the hospital, the infirmary, where currently Alabaster Cinder is receiving medical attention and hopefully should awaken here shortly, as you guys kind of retired for the evening to be able to kind of remain a little bit closer during this kind of intense situation of things that are going on. Savage, you are Savage, Virian, Ellie, Mint, and Grave, you are awoken to the gunshots. At like you hear the faint voice calling for help, but the gunshot awakens you all.
bang bang? Where
So
are we
what-
sleeping? Where are we waking up together?
Like kind of like guest rooms, like they're slightly like conjoined rooms, right next to the infirmary and the hospital, like single bed, places where the church kind of put you guys up for the evening to kind of stay a little bit closer together during this
I have
kind
not
of.
teleported, correct?
You have not.
Oh, thank you.
I will say that Varian just threw his pants on and grabbed his sword with the scabbard and ran out.
Yeah,
was
what's
there-
going on around me? Are people running? I'll go to the gunshots unless people are running from a different direction. Do I need to roll,
Yeah,
or do I just see that?
Throw on the armor, grab the gear, and let's get going. I mean, it's pretty obvious what a gunshot would be, who a gunshot would be coming from in this situation.
Yeah. Easily enough, you guys.
I wake up and I'm like, pirates.
Each of you, so Savage, Virian, and Grave, immediately you've been trained. Like you immediately wake up. Grave doesn't even have to throw on his armor; he slept in it. Bangs open the door, begins to run down the hallway. Virian and Savage, you open the door, are exiting out as Grave comes barreling down the hallway towards the gunshot. And you guys begin to follow along as like calls for aid begin to echo throughout the courtyard and the clergy. Ellie, you were kind of in that kind of same area. What are you planning on doing?
Yes, I would like to also hurry out, but instead of running to where it is, just try to fly up to where I can still see everything, but high enough where I can have like a good aerial view of everything. So I can try to gauge what's happening.
100%.
Please do not fall back asleep.
As you exit the room and you immediately find a window, you fly out and begin to fly high in the air.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm like, did we lose Caleb?
I think I am lost.
Yeah, we don't
He's
see you
literally
anymore.
Well, I mean, you did die, so
I think I did, yeah.
no resurrection magic for that one.
About that.
Not that resurrection magic thing.
Well, it's not resurrection magic, but it's
Revivify?
it would allow us to push off his decomposition so that we could use it for.
Just preserve the body. That's the best we can do.
No, that's a legitimate thing where you can put that 1 minute
Hey,
one
if
window
someone-
off for a month.
Did
If
we go
someone
back,
dies,
Caleb?
leave it to me. If someone dies, leave it to me.
You have gentle
They're not
repose.
going to take more of their blood, are they?
No.
It's not gentle repose. Is it gentle repose?
I will pay you handsomely for
No,
your
it's
corpse
something
by the time
else.
you're dead.
But Ellie, so you fly out the window.
Oh
You
no,
begin
it is
to
gentle repose. 10 days.
fly up into the air. You notice two things right off the bat. The first thing is you can see Clayton surrounded by a group of very small clergymen kind of clutching his father in his arms. You see that the door that he there's a door kind of wide open where they had exited from. But the one thing that immediately catches your attention as you kind of gain a height vantage is off in the distance you can see a sky city. And as you are that high up in the air, you are the first to see what the city of Dracon looks like. You see a massive city, almost 4 times the size of Babylon. Almost an entire continent flying through the air.
Oh, dang.
But the one thing that kind of puts the size of the city to shame is that you see currently harnessed to the front of the city, pulling it towards you guys, you see 3 giant dragons. A gold, a red, and a silver. Harnessed up and currently flying, wings beating, dragging this entire sky city towards you.
I feel like
And
that's like labor. Is that slave labor?
As you look at it, you recognize these
Ignored.
as the gold dragon who's in the center. The ancient gold dragon you recognize as Lord Corinth, the current monarch of the city of Dracon. And you think to yourself, of course, the only race on the continent of Sinis that would be too proud to use anything but the power of dragons to pull a sky city, it would be them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what you see.
Better.
I would like to go warn Ophelia about this.
All right. Yeah, easily enough. She was kind of staying in an adjoining room. As you kind of dive back down and into the window, you actually enter in right as her door opens, as she is kind of getting ready and she exits. And she kind of looks up at you. Ellie, what's going on?
Dragons, they're here.
That is a little bit sooner than we had expected. I heard a gunshot. What else is going on?
I'm not fully sure. I saw Clayton holding his father.
Well, that would make sense. They are the only ones with firearms within the city. We should go catch up with the rest to see what is going on. And then we'll cut back over to Savage, Virian, and Grave. Savage, you kind of turn a corner, you enter into the courtyard, and you can see like this tight group of like small kids like huddled over the form of Clayton. As one of them kind of runs, like one of the ones that had broken off from the group runs up to you, kind of, hey, I found Savage. Hey, half orc guy, the shooty bang bang guy. He needs you. I think his dad's dead or dying.
But
No, he's not dead. I saved him. You should be so proud of me.
I give him some head pats and say, "There, young one. We will talk about this later. Right now." Crack my knuckles dramatically. I have some work to do.
You all kind of rush up, and you can see that, like, it is a bit smothering as, like, these, like, 10 and 11-year-olds are crowding around this kind of, like, dying individual, like, little, like, you can tell, like, they're trying to be helpful, but they're a little bit smothering at this moment in time.
Do I see this?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all there.
Like, it's obvious as tell which ones aren't helping.
Yeah, like most of them are just kind of like, no, you're supposed to elevate his feet. No, you're supposed to elevate his head. And like some people are like running off to grab pillows. Some people are actually taking off the boots of Richard. Like they're
taking his Jordans.
Oh my goodness.
Varian's gonna kind of step in, bark at him, and say, like tell most of them to just kind of back away. That it doesn't require however many of them are there to help one person.
Mm-hmm. Easily enough. You have a very strong personality. These guys are like 10, 11 years old. You bark a command, they all kind of step back, kind of like look a little bit sheepish, as like they were trying to like they were pretending to be helpful, even though they all knew that they didn't know what was going on. But the kind of
Clayton, stop pointing your gun at the children. They're trying to help.
After he barks at him, he does take a moment and remembers that he is a father as well. And he kind of just internalizes, and he's like, you know what, I may have been a jerk just then. And he looks at them all and he says, you all did a great job.
You can see all their kind of faces kind of light up a little bit. But as you guys approach, you can see that Clayton is kind of supporting his father, and you immediately can tell. Savage, roll me a medicine check real quick.
Yeah, and I'll help him too, because I'll like take the place of the kids and try to help.
Medicine. Okay. Oh, nat 20.
Crit. You look him up and down,
Yeah, all right.
and you notice three things immediately. The first thing is he has been poisoned.
Ooh.
You immediately you can see the bruising around his neck was not as much from strangulation, but you can see that the bruises are starting to spread slightly, and it is from a toxin that you can immediately identify from a flower that kind of grows in Sinus, and you immediately oh, he needs a greater restoration to get rid of that. poison immediately. The second thing that you notice is like from the way that his like from the damages that he sustained to his neck, as you kind of like you immediately go over, you kind of tap on his third lumbar of his spine has been fractured, and he is paralyzed from the middle of the chest down. He would need a regrowth spell within the next day, or he will be paralyzed for the rest of his life. The third thing that you immediately like recognize is, yes, he is like currently breathing because of the healing magic that one acolyte was able to perform, and it probably saved his life because it had sealed a puncture to his lung.
Okay.
Am I able to, because I gave him the help action on that medicine check, did I pick up on the poison part of it? Because I have the poisoner feet, and I may be able
for
to...
sure. I would say that you were actually the one that kind of pointed it out to Savage. You saw the bruising beginning to spread.
Would I recognize the type of poison that it was and how to potentially make a more natural remedy? Given that our options with the restorative magic is limited.
A greater so the poison is derived from the flower of Nightlock, found in like remote volcanoes towards the south, where like the snow and ash tend to mix together and provide a very unique environment for this flower to grow. It does have a natural remedy. It is actually it is oh my gosh, let's see, did I actually do that? That's really funny. It is counteracted by something.
Somebody peeing on it.
No.
A dragon scale.
There is another flower that you guys had found previously.
No shot. I can't believe we actually have those still.
Hey Caleb, can you check your text message?
I just did. A lesser restoration would not. Not for this type of poison.
That's crazy.
It would actually. I would say that the lesser restoration would it would slow the progress of the poison, but a greater restoration would get rid of it, and blah blah blah. A dragon flower is what I believe I called it, or an ember flower. Oh my gosh,
ember flower.
Would I potentially have one in my alchemy lab?
I think we still have them because we used some of them to make that potion a long time ago.
Yeah, you only had time to craft 2 potions, so there's still the third flower that is left.
But that would be in my alchemy lab.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So this would be just straight poison affecting him, correct?
Yes.
So if I were to somehow give him resistance to all damage, would that help us for a little bit?
It would slow down the poison for sure. Savage, as you're kind of looking at it right now from the spread of the poison, he has maybe 3 hours. But if lesser restoration was cast on him and like the resistance were like given to him, it would double it and then double it again. So it would go from 3 to 6 and then 6 to 12.
What if I then used gentle repose in addition?
Gentle repose is for dead. They have to be dead. He's not currently dead, sadly.
All right, so just the one thing.
Well, my spells for healing can help with his back. We'll have to use the restoration spells to slow the poison, which should delay it long enough for us to make that antidote out of the flower that we have.
Yeah, and I want to start on that immediately as soon as I put that together.
I think that's a solid battle plan.
You guys see Virion hop into the bag.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have to cast these in any particular order, or
if Grave can cast his thing, I need his help.
Sure thing. She'll cast it. and then I will go to help.
All right, you cast lesser restoration on Richard. You can see that the spreading of the poison slowly kind of like stops and just kind of like progresses to a crawl.
So, great question. So the spell that I'm doing says, if the target is deceased or poisoned when you cast the spell, or becomes deceased or poisoned while under the spell's effect, the disease and poison have no effect until the spell's end.
What spell is this?
Feign death.
Feign death. Interesting. And what is
So
the
it's a medically induced
duration of this
coma?
spell?
It is 1 hour, but I can cast it as a ritual, so I can just keep on doing it.
Spam it.
Okay.
So you have to stay here with them, is what you're saying.
This
It is it's worth it.
If we move him into the church,
as-
he can cast it safely there.
as long as you are with Richard, I will say that the poison will not kill
Wait a minute. I may be remembering this incorrectly, maybe from a video game or something, but I'm pretty sure I might be onto something here. If he was on sacred ground, like let's say a chapel or something, wouldn't that technically do something for him naturally with the
No.
poison?
Not against this. This is a natural. It's just a natural poison.
Yeah.
I could have swore like it was like a sanctuary spell or something like that.
All right. Well, Min, if
All
you
right.
wanna cast that ritual, let's heal him up a little bit so we can transport him safely into the medical ward here in the church. And then as long as you're with him, then he'll stay stable as long as it takes for Virion to get that antidote taken care of. Plus, we don't want to do this out in the open. It's just not safe.
Yeah.
Alright. So
All right,
I'm in the
Virion,
bag.
You hop into the bag. Immediately, the kind of butler kind of greets you, and he kind of like partially waves at you as you immediately run past him into the alchemy lab.
I mean, I greet him.
Yeah, you're just like,
Just fist bump him on the way in.
Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah. You immediately make it in, and you make it to the alchemy lab, and there it on the table where you had left it right before you were going to start making the third and final healing potion is the flower.
Back.
All right, Virion. I'm gonna need 2 checks. First
I have
is going to
6.
be a medicine check, and then is going to be just a raw intelligence check.
Okay. And all these are straight, no advantage or anything like that?
I will
With the poisoner's feet, would that help in any way?
Yeah.
grant you advantage with the medicine check.
I have a question for Clayton and Grave.
Hmm.
This might be a bit of a far-fetched bit. Back in episode 1, you were digging up a bunch of graves. Would you happen to still have the equipment that you were using to dig?
Oh yeah.
A shovel, yeah.
Yeah,
May I be able to gather some of the graveyard dust or the graveyard dirt off of those devices?
yes, I would allow that.
Fantastic.
That's pretty great. I rolled a 15. My medicine modifier isn't great, but
Okay, a 15.
for medicine.
As
Yes.
you are able to, like, you get out your mortar and pestle, you break off a couple of the leaves, you begin to grind it up, and you kind of begin to like go through all of your knowledge of the Nightlock poison. And as you kind of like think like of how it is derived into a poison and how you will have to derive this to be able to counteract it, you are like, okay, it's not going to work as a solve. It has to be an injection. So I have to add a specific amount of liquid, a little bit of acid to break down the composition of it, to put it into a medical form. And as you're able to grind it down into a paste, you add the acid, a little bit of water, you bring it to a boil, you pull out a syringe, you're able to insert the syringe into the bottle, you fill it. Now go ahead and make me an intelligence check.
And could I assist him with anything? Because
Where to stick the needle?
I felt like I had followed him, so I was there
Okay.
with him watching him do it.
I don't know what that says for your screen. It says my dice result is a 13, but I'm looking at the dice here and it says a 15.
13 is what popped up for me.
Okay. Well, if you want me to take that, I'll take that. But I'm looking at my D20 and it says 15. So, but if you want me to take the 13, it would be a 16 for the intelligence check.
All right. The DC was 15.
Oh.
As you hold the syringe in your hand, you recollect how Nightlock works. It has 4 stages of progression. And in order to counteract those 4 stages of progression, you have to administer the antidote in 4 stages. So Virion, you learn that it is going to be once every hour for 4 hours. But additionally, with that intelligence check, you know that first hour, the person has to be in a cold climate. Then the second hour in a warm climate, third hour in a cold climate, fourth hour in a warm climate. And as you do that, you kind of you are able to kind of gather that information, and you pop back out of the bag with the syringe.
All right. Seems simple enough.
You pop back out. The party had split. Clayton and Grave had run off to the workshop. Savage, you, Ellie, and Min had made their way to the infirmary. Min kind of helps slowly to kind of sorry, not the infirmary. To the infirmary. But you pop out of the bag right as Ophelia and Ellie kind of join, and they both Ophelia is like, "What's going on? What's going on with Richard? Is everything okay?"
I'm not really sure what happened. I think you'd have to talk to Clayton, and I'm pretty sure he's in the workshop. But his father was seriously injured and, by the looks of it, poisoned by a nightlock flower. I created a antidote of sorts. It'll require some time and access to a cold climate. Do you know a place that we could take him for that?
I believe there's a bathhouse here in the clergy. Isn't that correct, Savage?
It is, yes. We should take him there.
All right. Min, do you still have access to Tensa's floating disk?
Yeah. Yeah, I can make the floating disc.
All right. Cast it onto him then. We need to be able to transfer him safely.
Okay, I can do that. Oopsie daisy, buddy.
As easily enough, you're able to lift him up. Ophelia kind of tells you that she's gonna stay here with Alabaster, as the rest of you kind of rush through the hallways as safely as you can with Richard and finally make it to the bathhouse, where Min kind of deposits Richard where he needs to be very gently. He then turns to the rest of you, kind of like says something about helping the others, and runs off. Right when you do that, Virion, he's placed into the cold climate. You're able to grab the needle, you insert it into his arm, and you give him a quarter of a dose, and immediately you see the tendrils of black begin to subside and pull back into the bruises a bit. We'll go ahead and cut back to Clayton, Grave, and Min. Clayton and Grave, you walk into the room, and Clayton, you immediately start looking through everything to see if things have been misplaced. Go ahead and roll me a perception or investigation check.
Oh, 17.
What's he looking for, man? I don't know.
As you kind of step in, Min also kind of like walks into the room and kind of sees you kind of hurriedly looking through stuff and kind of joins in to help out with the investigation. As you begin to flip through, all of your bullets are still there, all of your weapons, all the physical things that you have crafted are still there. However, as you begin to slowly make your way through some of your documents, one of your blueprints for the crafting of the anti-shield formula is missing.
My friends, we've got a problem. And I've created it. Min and Grave, look at this bullet. Hey, do you see anything unique about it?
It's a really nice bullet.
I appreciate that. You see,
What does it do?
all of the magic that you can conjure doesn't matter with this bullet, because fired from this rifle, it will pierce straight through any magical wards, and Grave, any kind of armor that you can wear will not matter to this bullet.
The armor was me.
So is it a magic bullet or is it a magic gun?
Neither. It's been crafted to pierce through the fabric of magic and armor. But now it seems the blueprints to my design have been compromised. Min, if you can help me, I want to make sure that anything on these boards, any of these papers, apart from this stack here, I need formulas changed to where if anyone else comes in this room and tries to decipher, that they will not find the true formula ever again. But these papers here, and I start folding them up and put them in my jacket pocket, vest pocket. These will stay with me.
Clayton, how long does it take to make one of these bullets?
Takes me 100 gold and 3 days.
Could somebody else who doesn't know how to make it learn and do it that fast?
No.
No, not at all. No one, except who has the extra blueprint, are going to be able to create it. But it'll take them longer.
We better get ready. Alright, let's start messing these things around. Symbol here, scribble.
And easy enough, Min is very accomplished in the art of changing small equations to mess up a very big equation. And you guys spend a little bit of time to be able to get those changed and fixed. And you finally kind of finish your work there.
Now, I don't know about the two of you, but I have a suspicion that Cicero is at the end of it, and not only suspicion, it's confirmed from my father. I think it's due time for us to repay him a visit. Let's go to the tower.
I don't see how he could get out or do something while he's in there, but I agree, something's fishy about him.
Well, I think we're going to try to pull all information out from him, if you catch my drift. And then I just turn and walk out.
Alright.
And as you both leave, as you all leave and begin to make your way through the streets of Babylon to the tower in which Cicero is being held, you guys approach the guards there. They call out to you, "Halt! Who goes there?"
We look around. You mean us? Well, we're the saviors of the city, remember?
They kind of as you finally kind of approach up to the door, they kind of look at you and yes, Ashen Avengers, or at least some of you. What can we do for you this evening? Or morning, actually. It's morning.
We're gonna need to see Cicero right now.
He looks at you and sees the kind of look in your eye and all of the objections that he was about to say kind of die on his lips, and he kind of steps back and ushers you all in.
It's okay, you won't be in trouble. We're supposed to be here. Thank you.
You guys rush up the steps up to the top of the tower. The guards up there nod to you. They open the door and you all enter into the room. You see the swirling arcane sigils surrounding the room, and there you see, sitting at the very center of the cage is Cicero, kind of, Clayton, Min, Grave, it is pleasure to see you all again. It's been not even 24 hours since I've seen you last, so what do I owe this pleasure?
Well, hopefully it'll be more of a pleasure for us. I pull out a rope. Stand up.
All right. And Cicero kind of stands up at the middle of the cage. He's still kind of manacled together. His chains are like around his wrists, like the chains are like attached to the floor. He can barely kind of shuffle around maybe 2 or 3 steps.
Well, Cicero, what's going on with the plans?
Plans?
Don't play dumb with me.
These plans.
I eliminated your assassin. What was the assassin called again? What was the creature?
Oh my gosh. What was it called?
Oh my gosh, the most dangerous oh my gosh in the world.
It was known as the ex-girlfriend.
Black Beast of I think it was a Zephyr assassin.
I eliminated your Zephyr assassin completely.
At this moment in time, he kind of shuffles forward a little bit, and you can see the look in your eye, and you see this broad smile kind of splits his face. Is it that time already? Did Clayton's daddy bite the bullet? Is that what happened?
I pull out one of my pistols and I kneecap him.
Shoot into the cage.
Okay. As you pull the trigger and you shoot, the black powder is going to go off and it's going to shoot the bullet. Go ahead and roll damage. However, it is only going to be 1d8 because part of your guns are magical. For your like +3 revolvers, they're technically magical.
Yeah, that's true.
What if you throw the bullet at him really hard instead?
1d8.
No one ever expects the magical left hook in a magic fight.
I cast gun at level 9.
Oh, whoops. Well, that works actually. So
PK Glock.
it was 24.
24 to hit?
Yep.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Just 1d8 plus your dex.
Okay. I think, yeah, okay. So we're looking at 6 + 8, so 13.
All right. 13 points of damage. You see it impacts his knee. He looks down at it. You watch as it blows a hole in his knee. Exits like his kneecap is gone. He kind of looks down at it, looks up at you, and smiles.
What the?
That's gross.
That.
Tell you what. You know, I'm in a sharing mood. I actually have a question. For Min, you're an arcane individual, isn't that correct?
Only on days that end in Y.
That is every day.
Okay.
That is today.
Well, I have a question to propose to you. Let's
I
say,
have an answer to give you.
yes, would
Yesterday,
a simulacrum
but not tomorrow.
feel pain?
Sorry, what?
The simulacrum normally would not feel pain because simulacrums are synthetic. They're not real people. If you used a real person, that would make them a homunculus, and homunculi, they can feel pain.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Homunculuses can feel pain. Simulacrums
Homunculi.
cannot feel. Thank you, Min. Yes, you are correct. Homunculi can feel pain. Simulacrum cannot feel pain. So, Clayton, question for you. What would that make me? A simulacrum or an homunculus?
I don't know what you're talking about, but what have you done with the true Cicero?
The true Cicero? Good luck finding him. I think he potentially has your blueprints and is finishing up with his, well, our weapon, I think. So, good luck finding him somewhere within the city. I do believe my time is almost up. So, I would like to bid you all a very fond farewell. And he's going to wink at you all and collapses into a pile
That
of
was a
snow.
disgrace of that quote. You can't use a villain for that.
As Cicero falls into a pile of snow and immediately melts, you see all the guards around the room are freaking out. They were already freaking out that you shot Cicero in the knee, but was even more freaked out when he didn't seem to react to it. And then he's gone. The cell is empty. Alarm bells are ringing throughout the entire cell.
No!
Do it like Darth Vader.
No!
All right. At this time, we are going to go ahead and cut back over to our other members of our party.
Before that, I whip around after I banged on the cell door. Guards, find me the heralds of order and secrets now.
Without a moment's hesitation, you watch as they scatter to be able to go find them. Some of them were already running as soon as Cicero disappeared. Alarm bells are echoing throughout the city. And that is when we'll cut back over to our other party. At this moment in time,
said, want to see a magic trick? Abracadabra.
Want to see a magic trick? Abracadabra! You want to see me disappear?
Can't believe it wasn't real. That's
at this we cut back over to you. At this moment in time, you guys are able to pull Richard into the sauna, and about an hour has passed, and Varian, you're able to inject in the second dose right when you hear the alarm bells beginning to ring.
Well, that sounds disconcerting.
I think that's coming from the prison.
That was my thought as well.
This day is getting better all the time.
Suppose I need to go. Can I trust you to administer the last 2 doses?
Yes, I'll stay here. You go.
All right. Take good care of them.
Be careful.
And Varian runs out towards the prisons in nothing but borrowed alabaster pants with his sword.
Perfect. Ellie, what are you doing as Virion kind of runs out? And it sounds that these alarm bells are kind of ringing throughout the city. Things seem a bit dire at this situation. What are you doing?
I would like to go to Alabaster.
All right. You make your way back through the hallway. You kind of nod to Savage, say that you have to go do something real quick, and enter back into the infirmary. Ophelia kind of like her head lifts up. She makes eye contact with you. Ah, Ellie. What's going on? The alarm bells. That's the prison, right? What's going on?
I am not sure, but I can tell you that is where Clayton, Min, and Grave all went, and Virion has also gone to investigate.
Oh, well, should we go also?
Potentially, but first I think it would do us great benefit if Alabaster was not out of commission.
Oh. What are you going to do?
Please step aside.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Okay. Hang on, math. A 23.
She nods her head to you and kind of steps aside.
And I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to put my hand, kind of hovering over his forehead, and she can see the magic coming from me, but she does not know what it is.
Confused look kind of passes over Ophelia's face as you hold your hand above Alabaster. Ellie, what does the magic look like? What would you describe it as?
Glowing. It feels ancient, but it is a glowing, and I would like her to not be able to tell if it's red, black, or white. It's kind of shifting between those colors, but she can't tell what it is.
Easily enough. You place your hand over the forehead of Alabaster, and you feel heat emanating off of Alabaster. You feel it fighting against you as you push, and finally it breaks. And Alabaster sits up straight up and says, "Death comes upon wings of lightning and flames. It comes to devour us all." Ellie. Ellie. Ophelia. What is going on? Where am I? What happened?
First, you should tell us, what do you remember?
What do you mean?
What is the last thing that you remember?
I remember Gandaic as well, Herald of Law, came to me, said he found something in a secret library within the city of Babylon. Something having to do with the clergy. We went, and there was a secret library within the library itself. And he handed me a book, a red-bound book, burning with heat. It was called Ember. And then electricity to the back of my head. Pain. Fire. Burning. Saw Gende Kasiko. And then nothing. My head hurts. Ophelia. Ellie, what is going on?
I am not sure, but I know it would do great benefit if you could at least go and attempt to help heal Richard. Do you have a regrowth spell, perchance?
I do. Just one. Where is he?
He's here in the infirmary as well. I believe he might be either in a sauna or in an ice room of sorts.
The bathhouse, yes. I will make my way there. Where should we, after I help with this, where should I meet up with you all?
I will come find you.
Very well. And he will sit up from the bed, and he will run off. At this moment in time, Savage, he kind of enters into the bathhouse. He kind of, Savage! Regrowth. Correct.
Oh, goodness. Glad to see you're still in one piece.
Barely. There's still a lot of gaps in what happened. But it sounds like we're in the depths of it now.
That's one way to put it.
And he'll kind of walk up and what has been broken?
His spine. It's not in good shape. I have been able to stabilize him, help with the pain, but I can't heal it.
Well, this is going to be one of my more powerful spells for the day. Hopefully we won't need it later. And he'll place his hands on Richard's body, and you hear the sounds of reknitting of bones, the spine being pulled apart and then rearranged back together. A snap. You see Richard kind of sits up straight and then lays back down.
Yikes.
He's gonna feel that any moment.
Right.
Yes, he will. Why are we in the bathhouse? Why is he in the sauna?
He's been poisoned. We are administering an antidote right now, but he needs to be in the ever-changing climate to make sure that it works.
Nightlock.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. You should go join the others. I will administer the antidotes.
Are you sure? Are you in any condition to do that?
Savage, I need to be of use, and I can't go running around right now in my condition. I will be fine. I've gotten enough rest, and I should be awake for the next bit. I'll be fine. Yes, I promise.
Very well. Just kind of get up, clap him on the shoulder or something. Just go forward in faith.
At this moment in time, Ophelia also kind of comes in. She kind of like not knowing what to do or where to go. She followed Alabaster. I will stay with Alabaster too. We will take care of Richard. You all go and figure out what is going on and send us word, please.
As you wish, right away. And I'll head out to catch up with the others.
All right. And as that happens, Min, Clayton, and Grave, you make your way down from the tower. Savage, Virian, and Ellie, you all kind of join up at the very bottom of the tower as you converge outside of the prison.
Okay.
I imagine that this tower right behind us, that I imagine that this is the prison tower and that big guard right there.
Probably.
Yeah, the prison right in front of the baths?
The entire party is together now?
Yes.
Reunited.
Perfect.
What happens in that?
Clayton.
We've got some big problems. First off, the Cicero that was in the tower was a what is it called?
He was a simulacrum.
It was exactly
Yes,
that.
simulation. That's right.
I tried to blow his kneecap out and it didn't do anything.
It turned him into a pile of snow.
No, that shouldn't be possible. He was in a magic field.
He never was in there. That's what
I
I'm saying.
think he was
Cicero.
I think he was just a thing of snow the entire time.
We haven't been interacting with the real Cicero for a while. The Cicero that we captured in the caves, was that actually him? I don't think so.
In all fairness, we don't know who in the city is actually on our side and who isn't, and who's aiding Cicero.
As you are having this conversation, Virian and Min, you have a piercing pain in your head. And all of a sudden, the modify memory spell fades away.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
The what?
Modify memory?
Yeah, so apparently some stuff happened, and Cicero is... Let's put it simply, a lot of bad things happened.
What do you mean? What just came upon you? Why were you wincing?
What bad things are you talking about?
Things like Cicero and having about like 10 really large ashen stones, and apparently he changed mine and Virian's and Savage's memory, and Lazar.
At this moment,
what did I say? Who did I say?
You said Savage.
at this moment, well, okay. First,
memory altered so good that I
where
don't
exactly
even know what we're
are we?
You're at the base of the tower where the prison is.
Okay. I would like to have a moment where Virian kind of rages after the memory spell is lifted.
Oh, like when Aragorn kicks the helmet and breaks his toe?
Kind of. Is there like a crate or something nearby?
Oh, for
There
sure.
is a small child.
There's like there's a bunch of like
I yeet the child.
He just yeets it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like crates and boxes like surrounding the tower.
It's Milo
like,
or whatever his name was. He's back.
Virian, he's trying his best to stay silent, but he's turning red in the face, and finally he just lets out this loud, deep yell, scream, grabs a crate, throws it across the room against a wall, while he simultaneously, with this scream, does his fire breath for the first time.
And as you do so, you watch as the crate shatters against the wall and the bits of flying debris immediately catch fire and burn to ash before they hit the ground.
Well, that's a new ability.
Clayton, I need you to teach me everything you know about making whatever components you use for your bullets.
I don't know about that. I'm already having problems with keeping my secrets. That's the whole point. Cicero has blueprints for
Your
this.
secrets are no longer secrets.
I pull the rifle out. We can't let any more of this get out. We have to find Cicero. He's still in the city.
That's all great and good, and believe me, we'll find him. However, that tool...
As you guys are conversing, off in the distance you hear the sound of roars of dragons as the sky city of Dracon begins to approach. And Virian and Min, you remember the prime reason or focus of Cicero is to craft a weapon to sink a sky city. And here, arriving within the next hour, something that could potentially be within range in the next hour is quickly approaching.
We've got to tell the dragons that they can't come close to us.
Ellie's here, right?
Would you like me to fly to them?
That would be great.
You'd have to. You can't let them get too close. We have to find where Cicero is before we can actually let the cities converge.
Virian's gonna run outside to a large enough clearing, and even though he doesn't have the power or soul or whatever else, he's going to try and turn into a dragon to try and fly to the city of Dracon to warn them.
All right. You run out and go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
It says 15.
15. You strain with all of your might, but you are not able to transform. Ellie, as you look up at the city of Dracon, it is about an hour away. You, in your current form, would not be able to fly to the city fast enough.
I take out my stone, my scrying stone.
You're sending?
Yeah, my sending stone. And I send a message to the dragon that we spoke to before.
4 stone?
Yes.
All right. What is the message? It's 25 words.
Cicero's plan is more elaborate than we previously believed. He escaped. He has a weapon of mass destruction. Turn back now. Save yourselves.
All right, Virian. This is going to be a persuasion roll. This is a DC 20. Nobody can help you.
A persuasion roll?
Persuasion. DC 20.
Lady of Ash.
This is one of those moments in D&D that really just make or break you.
What's your persuasion modifier?
1.
Oh.
A 19 or 20.
There's a 10% chance you could do it. Save the game and we'll reload.
Yeah, quick save now.
Good luck. 3 minutes left.
Lady Ash, if you're hearing this, please.
I rolled a base 16, so it'll be a 17.
Ah.
No.
You
Wait,
get a reply
is there
back.
a shark here? Is there any sort of bardic inspiration?
There is not.
Any kind of inspiration?
Divine inspiration?
Any kind of inspiration.
What would you say, Ellie? What were you saying?
I could give bardic inspiration.
Can she give him divine inspiration?
This would be helpful. Because it's a 17, I'm 2 points away from beating the... Or wait, no. It's a 20.
Is this an emphasis?
So
Can we make it an emphasis roll?
I'm 3 points away.
I will say this. You can take the bardic inspiration. However, you have to roll twice and take the lower.
Of the D8?
Of the D8.
Wait, okay,
bardic
so
inspiration with disadvantage.
bardic
This is what I will
inspiration.
allow because it is past the roll already, and usually we cannot. Usually we wouldn't recommend it, but I will allow it in this circumstance. Roll 2d8 and you take the lower amount.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
You got
So-
this.
But
Oh,
in
boy.
short, I have inspiration.
You do.
Okay, so... Alright, first
Oh,
D8.
jeez. Here we go.
I rolled a 2.
That is
Okay.
not going to be enough.
I rolled another 2.
Oh,
It needed to be a 3.
It needed to be a 3.
one off.
It's a 19, guys.
Ah.
Talon.
Virian.
Roll your dice. Don't just drop them.
I'm using the dice tower because whenever I throw them, it doesn't do anything. It's always low. But if I use the actual... Wow, okay.
He just rolled an 18.
First time, yeah, like the one after I
Alright.
say it, of course. But every time I've done
Um,
it before, it's always like below 5.
I think we gave it our best shot.
Virion, as you send this message off, you get a reply back.
New phone, who does?
Nothing can destroy our city. We are coming for Cicero. Prepare for his demise.
And
Is
that
there?
is where we will end the episode for the evening.
Oh my gosh. I need
Does
a drink.
anyone have anything that they could like boost me with to make me go faster?
We could throw you.
Level up.
In this intense moment before potentially doing battle with Cicero Corinth for the final time for the fate of the city of Dracon, you all do level up.
Let's go.
Oh,
Dope.
My dear friends, come here, come closer. Thank you so much. You have watched the video, you made it to the end. Truly, it means so much to us, but we wanted to thank a couple more people. Of course, we thank you. You are one of the greatest people to thank because, quite frankly, we do this for you. This is for you to watch. Other than that, it's just a bunch of friends being idiots together. So, thank you. Obviously, we want to thank the Tavern Tales and Studio Shinto, who they created this beautiful game with all these fun things to play with, and it's a great place for us to come together to play the game we all love. All right, next up, we wanted to thank all of our players for everything that they do, the time that they take out of their day to come here every week and pull off stupid shenanigans like we do. So, thank you to all of the players, and to our DM, of course, as well, Caleb Reynolds. Very good DM. Top notch. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, of course. There's a cameraman here. We are very grateful for our dear videographer, Trevor Jones. Thank you for all you do. There's just so many things. We have a good one. Babies from the Tavern. If you have not seen their channel, they also play D&D in Tavern Tales like us, and their content is perfect. I love it. You should go check them out. We will leave a little link here and down below as well. With that, I think that's all of the thank yous that we have. But just a pretty little reminder to subscribe if you are not subscribed, so that you get all of our notifications when we are posting our fun videos for you. And to watch it for the shorts that we will be posting, and then come back here to this video, find the timestamp, drop it in the comments, and we'll give you a little shout out here. So thank you again for everything so much. Goodbye, and we will see you next time on the Arcane World. Bye bye.